we've got adding and subtracting fractions. I know you did this last year because I just showed the 6th graders how to do it. So hopefully there's some more review in this than you. We've got a couple steps we're going to follow. First step, rewrite the fractions with common denominators. So that means the bottom number is going to be the same. We need a refresher on how to do that?
No.
Okay. We'll do some when we get to the practice, but we won't do it now. And then you're going to add and subtract the, what's the top of the fraction called again?
Numerator.
The numerator. Please leave the denominators the same. Don't do any adding or subtracting with those. Those stay the same when we add and subtract fractions. And then we're going to reduce. Sometimes people call that to simplify. Simp, S-I-M-P-L-I-F-I. Gotta remember how to spell. Simplify a fraction. Okay, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
So if you had 2/4, that's the same as 1/2, so that's reducing. Okay. All right, let's try a couple practice ones. 1/3 plus 5/9. What would be a common denominator between these? 9. So this 3 I've got to do times 3, and that means I got to do times 3 to the 1. So I have 3/9 plus 5/9. 5 plus 3 is 8. So we have 8/9. Can I simplify that at all or reduce that at all?
No.
No, so I'm done with that one. 1/2 minus 1/6. So what's a common denominator there?
6.
6. So the 2 is times 3. Times 3 here. We have 3/6 minus 1/6. Gives me 2/6. Can I reduce that?
Yes.
If I divide both by 2, I get 1/3. All right, Tammy, 1/5 and 1/4. What do you think would be a common denominator? Something that they both fit into. So for the least common multiple there. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20. Okay, good. So both of them are going to have 20 on the bottom. So what do you have to multiply 5 by to get to 20?
4.
Times 4. So then make sure you multiply the top by the same. And 4 we'd multiply by our 5. So 4/20 plus 5/20 is 9/20. Can I reduce that at all? So 1 fits in the 9. 3 fits in the 9. Does 3 fit into 20?
Yeah, you can. Wait,
Does
no,
3 fit into
you
20?
can't.
No, 3 doesn't fit into 20.
You can't.
4?
Never
No.
mind. No.
5? No. Okay. So that one's done. Then you're going to get some that are equations. Do you remember these guys?
No.
What do you do when you solve an equation?
You do the opposite.
You do the opposite, or the inverse operation. So what's happening to x in this one? It's getting minus. So what's the opposite of minusing? Adding. So we're going to add 1/4 to both sides. So we end up with 1/3 plus 1/4. Common denominator between thirds and fourths.
12.
12, says Molly. I have 4/12 plus 3/12. 7/12. Can I reduce that?
No.
So my x equals 7/12. What questions do you have about
No.
adding and subtracting fractions? The solving equation one?
A different example.
Like example 4? Want to do one more? I'm just going to go to backside.